Welcome back to episode 2 of Sonic Lost World. So before we start with the recording, I was gonna ask Ethan, hey, if Sonic Frontiers is any good, what would be your reaction? Like finally relief, or just like okay, it has a few years of life left?
If Frontiers is good, because again, audience, the game's already out at the time of the video upload. Haha. But if it does turn out to be good, the Mr. Incredible canny phase. It's a like almost
Oh, yeah,
it's
Mr. Incredible face.
yeah, the canny face specifically, the one I think before the God one where it goes ah ah ah. Hmm.
Okay, it's just gonna be like that. You're just gonna be happy.
I'm just gonna be happy because it's the reason why we feel this way about Frontiers that we do right now because it's it's really just the basically it's the culmination of Sonic not having the greatest reputation in the world piled on top of Forces being a mediocre game and the timing of it as well. um, because Forces was basically it's not a bad game content wise, contextually in the grand scheme of everything, it left a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths because after all, it was the first 3D Sonic game after the Sonic Boom franchise was did its Sonic Boom thing, and so and also even not considering Sonic Boom, this game actually was the last 3D Sonic game before Forces. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and this game came out to mixed reception. I'm on the good side of that reception, but that besides the case. After Lost World, after Boom, and then also after Sonic Mania, because Sonic Mania is actually like the greatest game in the Sonic franchise, and so having Forces be the follow-up to that, because as the developers quoted it, it's Sonic Forces is a stealth tie-in with Sonic Mania, and Forces just ended up being the most boring-ass game in the franchise, arguably. That's
They
just
really tried to lean into the gimmick of, hey, you can create your own character.
well, like more, not even with that,
But
because it is the Forces is just so lazily designed that there's not a lot of effort put into everything. The Avatar was probably the effort put into the most, but
but it's still shit.
yeah, that's the
Are you
thing.
eating, Carlos?
Yeah.
What are you eating? He's eating pretzels.
Sure.
Okay.
He's eating dick.
But yeah, it's just the timing of Forces that really has us left with a bitter taste in our mouths for the future of Sonic. So, back in June of 2022, when they shot off the initial gameplay reveal for Sonic Frontiers, we were like, oh no, go back, please, no, God, no. What was your initial question again? I've forgotten now.
Well, I was just gonna ask how you would feel about like if Sonic Forces was good, and you already answered it.
Oh, Frontiers.
Yeah.
Freudian slip.
Yeah.
They use the same freaking letter. That's why.
Actually, I had this somewhat similar conversation with like Brian because he's like
F2.
because Destiny 2 has two expansion packs, one called Beyond Light and one called Lightfall. Well, what is Lightfall's gotta come out like at some point, and he was like, "I hate when expansions have to say like one word the same because I keep forgetting which one's which." Because he kept calling Light Lightfall and Lightfall.
Oh, they are very similar names. Okay.
Oh no, I never minded it.
But yeah, you can tell
Because it kind of makes sense with the entirety of what they're doing in terms of the story and Destiny.
Yeah, but like just bringing them up in casual conversation,
Yeah,
like we are
yeah.
now, right?
It's like the name of the similarities are like, yeah, you mix up the two.
Yeah, so that's just how it's going to be whenever we talk about like whatever connections there are of Sonic Forces
in
and
all
Sonic
fairness,
Frontiers.
I kept like fucking mixing up Dead by Daylight and Dying Light for a long
Yeah,
time.
they sound very similar actually. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Also, this level right here, it's the only level where they do something interesting with Zaz. This is not the boss level,
No,
but they have the 3DS version handles its bosses like it's just the bosses and that's it. So there are only really 3 levels for every world, as opposed to Lost World we use 4.
Oh yeah.
But there's also like an extra stage that you can unlock by collecting all the red rings in the world, which I do. My 3DS playthrough is a 100% playthrough just so I can show off those bonus levels. Where Carlos is not going to 100% his version.
No, like I said in the first episode, it's literally just me wanting to just complete a game.
Right. Whereas, because I had
because at this point in time, when I recorded this, I had like no real game that I really was interested in either recording or really finishing. Because I think the other game that you needed me to record was Doom.
Yeah.
And I don't know how my progress on that at the time. I think I was still working on it. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I forget.
Yeah, we. That's the thing. We make these decisions so long ago that we don't even remember why we made the decisions.
It's probably somewhere in a video, in all honesty, where how it actually felt at the time. But it's probably gotta be way back.
Way back, probably. I don't know, Sonic 2 playthrough, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Probably, yeah, that's most likely the part.
Sonic 2 and Knuckles.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Going back to like, I was doing this process. I'm like, okay, I'm done with Sonic Lost World. And then, if I remember correctly, what actually happened is I looked through my Doom files, and I just saw that the video encoding was complete shit because I messed too much with my settings. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna re-record this and make it not look shit. And I did in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ethan knows the rest from there.
Yeah, I do. Although I was gonna ask for like the first 2 or 3 worlds of this playthrough, I want to say, your audio comes in a bit echoey. I don't understand how.
No, why?
Have you you notice it?
I now remember now.
Huh.
I think I fixed that like on later videos, didn't I?
Yeah, you fix that in like World 4 onward.
I fucking had like weird settings in my OBS that I just fixed in like later episodes.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's just
it's not gonna be a problem anymore. I've learned my lesson.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was wondering why the audio was coming in very echoey. So okay, now I got an explanation. Cool.
With Doom, I was willing to re-record. With Sonic Lost World, I was not.
Yeah, because again, you don't particularly like the Wii U version.
Okay, at the time of this recording, I already like finished 2 like other games. I mean, in terms of recording, I technically one and like 90% of the other one, considering that I might still do Ancient Gods for Eternal.
Yeah, well, that's a conversation for another day.
That's what conversation.
Yeah. Although one thing I won't defend about the Wii U version, it's the final level of each world has to be unlocked with how many animals you save in the previous levels.
Yes, that
Yeah,
I think in the later episodes, literally just went back to previous missions, just did it so I could actually have enough animals to go to the next area.
yeah. I don't like that. It's such a paltry amount too sometimes. So if you'd have to be like
Dude,
really,
sometimes you just miss one animal too little, and you're like, why?
yeah. So I'm not gonna defend that aspect of the Wii U version. Although if you bought the Wii U DLC, that won't be an issue. I'll also be showing off the Zelda stage and the Yoshi's Island stage at the very end of the playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I own the Wii.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna defend myself or anything. My gameplay sucked in this game.
Yeah, I'm like looking over Carlos's gameplay of this.
I'm not gonna defend it. It sucked. I suck at this game.
All right, so skill issue then.
That's why.
Oh, that's why it looks bad. Okay, man, the Sonic Frontiers gameplay demo.
Okay.
What was that? I've never seen that. What the hell?
I don't know. I slipped somehow, and I'm like, why?
How?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh, whatever. Oh. Yeah, so.
And you guys couldn't tell, I don't play a lot of Sonic games.
Well, you do, and you don't. Okay, so
I play Generations a lot, but that's it.
that's it.
Even then, I only play the 3D levels and not the 2D ones.
Yeah, that's the thing with like the last couple Sonic games. Whenever people talk about it, they're mainly just talking about the main Sonic gameplay. That is really on the edge. Holy shit. Okay.
I mean, I've been playing a little bit of like Unleashed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it's not that I hate it. It's just that I found fucking other games that I want to play.
And you're more so interested in the 3D titles than you are the 2D ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing with like the whole Forces being bitter stick, because even though Sonic Mania was great and it came out like a few months before Forces.
I'm so bad at this.
Come on, car. Utilize the parkour system.
Don't just drop to your death. Do the game right.
I sucked so bad.
Yeah. I would have done that no problem.
Yeah. But you actually played this game.
Yeah, and also because like oh, there you go. Yeah, you're taking the secret route there. Cool. Now there you go.
I didn't know that was there until just like, I swear to God, if there's not something here that makes it easy, I'm gonna go just.
Yeah, there's the easy one. But yeah, I was saying, even if like Sonic Mania even came out like a couple months before Forces, we're not gonna lie and say like the 3D games are the main course of what the Sonic fans want. And so when we finally got Forces and it was just mediocre as fuck, that's when we're like, it's bad. It's bad game. And we're like, Sonic's never been good, and he hasn't been good for years and years and years, even though we just brushed Mania off in the back of our heads.
Yeah, because like, despite it being good, it's not what people think about.
Yeah, it's not what we necessarily want. It's the greatest game probably in the franchise, but it's not the main course of what we want.
Yeah, gameplay-wise, it's probably the best.
Right.
Whether or not people believe it's the best, that's a whole different story.
Not even
Because,
just
like,
believe. What do you mean by that?
Like, people really, like, some people are like fanatic that like, what, the original games are the only good games.
Yeah, it's a faction.
It's a faction.
Yeah.
A very vocal faction, to be fair.
Yeah.
Depending on I don't know how big it is, but it's at the very least very vocal.
I don't necessarily know, and I'm kind of at this point where I don't have a lot of energy. I still have a lot of energy saying that Unleashed is the greatest game of all time, because fuck that. That is not true. But that's pretty much as far as I'll go with like how much energy I'm willing to spend on opinions that I disagree with.
A great game, but it's at least a decent one.
Like literally half decent though. Because, like, small Unleashed tangent, whenever I hear defending that game, especially the Werehog sections of it, they usually just back their argument with, like, but I like the Werehog stages, and that's pretty much all they all they explain about it. I just like it.
The Werehog stages are repetitive.
For sure.
But I don't know.
Like, I can at least attest...
Are they like a deal changer for me? No. Not by a long shot. That won't make me hate the game at all.
Well, it's also the thing, they do this on purpose with Unleashed. They remove the timer for the nighttime stages just so you can lose track of time and, not realize that you spent 45 minutes in the level. They do that on purpose, and I do not like that. I think that's kind of skeevy, actually. But, it's at least half decent. Like, literally half. You could split the disc into 2 and just keep the good half.
Well, no, if you split the disc into 2, you literally break the game.
Yeah, the game won't work anymore. Ouch.
Yeah, no, the sound design was kind of shit.
Yeah, that's even for like 3DS standards as well. Because I'm not gonna lie, because like it's essentially the same soundtrack that we hear on the 3DS. It's actually pretty good. Even compressed onto the 3DS system. It's like this is actually something you could jam to if you only have the the 3DS OST for whatever reason. All right, well that's the first boss.
They can fly.
Yeah, they fly in this version. I don't know why.
They can fly. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if they can fly, why don't you just like use that to their advantage? Well,
maybe this goes into the thing that the Deadly Six aren't very developed characters.
Oh fuck no!
No, not necessarily. No,
not in the slightest.
No, I know that they're in the IDW comics, and since the IDW comics are actually good, they actually put effort into, personalizing each member of the Deadly Six. Like, we have we get a semblance of their personality with each one here.
These were supposed to be like one-off villains.
For sure.
We're supposed to care about afterwards.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could also, try to make them memorable one-off villains.
You could. I mean, in all fairness, I could say this. I could tell you a fan like that, but here's the thing. Chaos was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
Which would negate any say like, oh, they just were one-off villains. They could be ignored. Chaos was amazing, negating that entire fact. Because I know fans.
Chaos
is memorable.
Assuming you can actually put together the story of Sonic Adventure, like the lore. But
the thing is, that doesn't stop Chaos from being memorable. He was memorable,
right? Yeah.
The Deadly Six are not.
No, Zavik is probably like the most interesting. Well, maybe that's because they bring him back in a couple more games, but. Meh. Like, I can at least feel a tiny thing about Zavik, and that's pretty much it.
The internet loves the green one.
Oh, I can feel something else with the green one as well.